So do you mind telling everyone who you
So
are?
my name is Chong. I'm also known for my moniker as ALEXOID LUCE. So I have been in the creative industry for over 20 years. But the art was actually something with me since I was a child. COVID gave me a pause that allows me to reorganize my priority in life. And so the pause gave me also a liminal space for me to understand, a liminal space for me to have a conversation with myself that allows the growth of whatever I have, with this character. So I would, otherwise I would not have even have this episode in my life. So COVID, that pause was a very, very important one for me. Yeah.
It was a big driving factor for Akala.
Yeah, I think a lot of people experienced that. It was not just me, and for me it was visual. Some people were maybe were baking or something like that.
True. That was a lifestyle for some people.
So for me it was the childlike desire to just create came back completely. The freedom I've not felt as an adult for a long time came back during COVID. Yeah.
So I would say that in a way that Akak punya like inspirations and designs comes from like a desire to like create again since from the very beginning.
I think as a child, all of us, we love to create things. When we were given a piece of paper, I think our first instinct is to draw something.
Yes, correct.
Right? So for me, that has always been instinctual. So whether it's a piece of napkin or it's a piece of paper, naturally I'll just doodle. So for what you see right now, it started with my journals doodling because I really need to occupy my time. So it's the desire to create. And it's the desire to create with hands, not just digital, because that's already a big part of my career. 20 over years of designing, working on communication, advertising, and all that. So, but when I use ink, it's because of the coordination between eyes and the hand instead of digital. Yeah. So yeah.
True. So in a way, like for your design, by Akak, like when it started to like bleed into the real world, especially in that regards, right? How do you feel regarding about like macam perception of like how people view your art when you first publish it to the world?
The honest bit is I don't really care. But I have to say that the audience played an important part that drives me to pursuing more, because the people who wrote to me and shared with me how they felt and about what they see, and the way they share it with that honesty, the very raw honesty, is the drive that I need to be very raw with my art as well. So, and with my language, my visuals, and as well. So, if anything, that is the drive. But I did not draw for anybody. I really just draw for myself and then I realized there's resonance everywhere, and that is I think that is the very honest driving force for me. Yeah.
So in a way, like. If you don't mind me asking this, Rayaka, because when you told me this story, right, before when I first met you, do you remember exactly when did this person tell you about like how it resonated the art with you?
Oh yes, when I was simply just posting on IG and sharing, I have people writing to me. They had been going through difficult times in their life, and then some were going through some health crisis and also mental health crisis. So when they write really long letters to you and then sharing what they felt and how my doodles host the pain that they were feeling at that very moment, I felt like I have stepped into something much larger than myself, and that propels me to like, okay, I should probably try to do more. And yeah, so that
Try to
is
do more, to convey more what you feel.
to if I can do anything to host that kind of anxiety, to create a language for the unseen and unspoken, I think that's a gift from the universe for me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because if it's because sometimes we can't express things to words. So if it can be resonated with pictures, drawings, I think that plays a huge role for a lot of human beings,
Yes.
especially.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. So I'm really glad to hear that, because when you told me that the people were coming in through like Instagram and seeing your art, and they themselves describe it to you. I can say, because a lot of audience and a lot of people don't really, how to say, when you see a long text on the phone, they'll be like, are you blurred already? my mind goes up. Cannot really say anything. But I'm surprised you went out of your way to like read through it and such. Did you respond to any of them by chance and such?
Do I what?
Do you respond to any of those like messages of people?
Oh, of course, I write back to them and thank them for sharing their experience. And some of them continue to support my work. They eventually bought my book. They continue to support. They are still followers on my Instagram, and so there's still continuous interaction since the first messaging. So yeah, maybe at this point I still can interact personally, but maybe in the future, if I have more, I might have problems.
Try to keep in touch.
Yeah, keep in touch. But if I have the chance, I would definitely reach out to people. Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, right? You had like some of your audience became close friends of yours.
Oh yes, it's a blessing. Since the launch of my books, I've met some closest friends I have for the past 3 to 4 years, and they became my fans, and then they became like closest friend, and they helped me to move to my new studio because they realized, okay, my things needs to go bigger, and then they come together to support me. They connect me with galleries. They connect me with friends who know how to solve things for me, some solutions. And yeah, they have been extremely supportive. So I met like lifelong friends through my honesty and through my art. Yeah.
That's really good. That's really good to hear. Because I feel like macam, how to say, I would say it's closely similar to like influencers or like maybe celebrities who like became like, oh, you're a friend of my work, and you stuck with me until like the end, from the beginning of time. So it's like, okay, you know what? Screw it. Like I'll get to know who you are, and then suddenly boom, we're very close friends already. Because for my own experience, because I technically do not do media for fun. I actually do it because back in the day, it was more towards like what Aka was thinking also, like the whole experience of like trying to make money first, and if ada orang minat lah, that kind of thing. Funny enough, when I think a few years ago, I was going through a tough time myself. I went through a very terrible relationship, and the breakup was really devastating for me. A friend of mine told me like, hey, since I'm streaming and it was the pandemic, like, why not just showcase yourself, talk to people, sembang, just for the hell of it. Like, you never know, you make friends, random friends online, which in my honest opinion, I'm very old school. I like my friends I can see physically rather than online, honestly.
Yeah.
So it was too shocking to me that friends that I met online has ended up becoming my real life friends as well. So that was the biggest jump in like how I interact with people. So I would say that the familiarity is very much the same. I'm also quite shocked as well. I'm not used to that life. I'm still getting used to it now still even, and I would say with pure confidence that quite a journey, quite the experience of my own.
Yeah.
But in terms of what do you feel like overall, like now you're having this new circle of like connection and friends amongst this space that you created? Compared to like your usual like meeting friends from outside, from life, from work.
I think what I have experienced since my book and my my conversation with my friends who knew me through my art and all that, I found that I'm in a space where I don't have to hide anymore. When I'm interacting, I need to feel like I need to. It's not a need. It's more like it becomes almost impossible to not be me. So they know me from various sides, so I think that is a very impressive phase in my life because I spent quite a number of years trying to just have different facades for work and all that. So once my book was out, I was able to, when I interact with people and when I interact with my new friends and they become close friends, I think that's because of the honesty. I can, be very, very authentic. Yeah.
Do like any of your like real life friends mingle with your current like friends from this space alone?
What do you mean?
Because like for some people they don't like mingling, like like personal friends, personal families that you met from work and like from high school or anything, don't really mingle with like your work and such. Do they have your friends like combined together, or like this two separate entities?
I don't know. I don't actually. They just are friends. They are. I think they are there for me, and whether they are from, I think from work, they are also good friends. They also know my book. So yeah, there's not really clear boundaries of whether they mingle or not. Yeah. So yeah.
Some people like to keep it personal, like work friends, family, like one they keep it separate.
For me, if they are close, they are just close. It doesn't have to be defined,
Correct.
Like that, yeah.
Because I'm so used to people who are like, these people for these people, this one they don't mingle together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But so far, right, Aka, like through your art, especially now with the conventions and everything, right? How do you feel overall? Like the
You mean
overall,
for KL Illustration Fair?
just in general, like all the events that you went through and everything. How do you feel, honestly?
One principle that I realized that I have to uphold for myself is that I do not create for a show. I want to create because I need to learn. I think when I first started, a lot of galleries approaching me to like do show and also group shows and all that. So I find myself very much producing for an event, and so I quiet down last year, and I was just really trying to do things for the sake of really learning the language. I want to speak better.
Yeah.
And then, but for KL Illustration Fair, this is an event that I feel quite intimate with because these are by my friends who we have been in the scene for a while, and they invited me the first time, 2023. The organizers, they are all good friends who supported my book and me coming back to illustration. So I would actually do something new for them. So this is something I commit to. Yeah. So they bought my books. And then they say we have an illustration fair. Make sure you are there. And so I say okay, yeah.
I see. So you are friends with the illustration group community here, is it? For the event?
I mean, they've been around, I've been around, so we were we know each other. Yeah.
Understandable. So they're like, hey, like we're having this, come along this.
Something like that. Yeah. And it was also after COVID. I felt like the community needs to need a lift. So I was like, okay, let's do this together. So I joined the first one.
How long has this event been going on? If you're familiar with it.
It started in 2023, I believe. Yeah. So that was the first one. And last year I couldn't join because I was working. And so this year I put down my work and joined this again. Yeah.
I see. Because I'm not familiar with this because I only assume that this is, no offense, just another gallery Winnie kind of concept.
No. But it's a huge community.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm surprised by the community that I'm seeing so far. There are a lot of young talents here, especially. Like, what do you think, Aka, overall, like seeing all these new talents, young ones especially?
I mean, to have a platform like this and to see everyone comes together and put a good show together and cause like a traffic havoc in Pudu, that's it speaks a lot for the community. It means we are very united, and if we want a show, we really can give you a good show. So I think we have exceeded probably 10,000 footfalls over the past four days. So that's quite. It says much about.
Yeah, quite a feat of its own.
Yeah.
True. But in terms of like, when your expectations regarding about the whole event, do you think it's like a great eye opening for anyone that come to experience your art? Any feedback of your own from the audience?
Well, eye-opening, no. I think it's a fair that I've been around before, but it's always good to see some of my followers who know me personally online, and when they rush towards me and tell me how they feel, that's quite a human touch to how the whole event, because I didn't know they've been following me. Some asked me about how my dad is doing because because I talk about how I have to step away from art a little bit to take care of my family. And when people do that, I felt like, wow, that's quite.
It's like, oh, that's quite sudden.
Yeah, and it feels it's very warm. It's a hug that you don't get.
True. That connection is definitely there. A lot more than usual.
Yeah. So people who knows my art through the online platform, and then they have a personal face-to-face with me. It's also something that means quite a bit for them, and they feel like I am tactile. I'm actually a real human.
It's like,
so it's quite. I think that's the most important part about this type of event. Yeah.
True. In overall, like if you were to like give your final opinion about it, what do you feel like could if you could say something to the audience, especially regarding like if they were to be here and to see the artwork that you have for yourself?
I don't have much to say. I think everyone has been very supportive. They have been supportive since day one. Overall, I'm very impressed. People all step out to support, and
come and see the whole thing for yourself. Anything you want to like showcase to the audience, like if you don't mind showing to me?
I can tell you maybe how it started. So like this is how it started. So there's a date here that signifies when it started. So the whole chaos you see here, it all started with the first journal of not knowing what I'm doing, purely to fill up my time during COVID in 2021. Tired of waiting, so I just start. And when you see the color, if you see the color red and black and the limited color I'm using, that's because during COVID we can't go out to buy non-essential, so that's the limited colors I have. And then eventually I realized red and black is my color. And then it evolves to a stage where I needed to see this character, who eventually become a little girl with stripes, and then I needed to see her in three-dimensional form. And so I took a ceramic sculpting class just to learn all this again. And so this is the first phase you see, and then you start seeing more a sculptural form of the character. So, and then I needed to see how she looks like in other medium, and all of that. I have this obsession with handmake. So if you see anything, I try to I make everything myself, and each of it is individualized, meaning it's a piece by itself. It's a fresh piece by itself. So that's my obsession, and hence I'm a pain in the ass to myself in a way. So, and then the book was a compilation of
what
from the journals and all that. So then when I have a book, I realize writing is a big part of the book. So
to explain.
Yeah,
what it means and
it's just kind of like if you read the book, you realize the writing part of it is the humor of my rather violent portrayal of life, and then the writing is the humor of it. So that's how I balance everything, and then things just evolved since 2023, and I just needed to put out more things, and then and also the curiosity I have to see how it can actually expand. So that's how it goes. Yeah.
Sure. Because I like the way that how you expand directly from the book, like where it all started, and then through the portrayals itself, and then even though you think it's a pain, yes, I feel like it's a huge dedication to start sculpturing to portray even more of the art itself, which is quite a feat of it. So even that technically is also handmade, right?
It's all handmade. This one was made by I made this with my grandma, my aunt, my 84-year-old aunt.
Okay.
So and I painted it, and we cut the piece of big cloth together, and it represents the shadow, which is in the character. I call him her or whatever, an entropy. So entropy in thermodynamics is something that it doesn't reduce; it just keeps getting more, and it grows.
It grows, consumes everything.
So that is the story of entropy, which is a big part of the characterization of my chaos. So you see the black part in all my sculptures. So that's the representation of the darkness and the chaos. Yeah. Just to conclude, I think a lot of people speak about being passionate in life. I feel like the reason why I can leap right into this is because I also have clarity. So I think passion needs to be driven by clarity. The clarity is knowing exactly where you want to go in life. You may not get there immediately, but it drives you, and it gives you the very honest passion to go on. But it doesn't warrant immediate success, but the satisfaction is that you have the clarity and you have to move into that clarity.